Super Mario Odyssey is full of surprises. In the same way that Nintendo has set out to revolutionize the Zelda series with Breath of the Wild, many people feel they have accomplished the same goal with Super Mario Odyssey. So here are 10 new awesome details about Super Mario Odyssey as requested by our subscribers like you. If you have a request for a video you would like to see, give this video a like and comment it below along with your thoughts on this video or what you're most excited about with Super Mario Odyssey. Then be sure to subscribe and click the notification button so you don't miss out when that video goes live. Several Mario games have given you the ability to fly or glide for a long distance. It has been a staple of the series since Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario 64. Even the Super Mario Galaxy series had their own unique take on Mario being launched through space as a way of traveling around the galaxy. It seems Super Mario Odyssey is bringing this back, but in an even more unique way. I'm sure Mario's cape or some power-up will be available to allow us to fly, but during a recent Nintendo Direct, Nintendo showed off Mario using Cappy's ability to fly around a level. Cappy's ability of taking over control of an enemy to fly around the level. We've seen him take control of Bullet Bill, but that has very limited mobility to just get from one place to another, while taking control of this winged dinosaur offers a lot more freedom than Bullet Bill and makes me even more curious about how much further we can take this flying ability within the game. Number 9. Multiplayer. While we aren't sure if Super Mario Odyssey will feature true multiplayer such as a co-op mode where one player plays as Mario while the other controls a second character like Luigi, it would be a step in the right direction, especially with Nintendo's big push to share the joy. Don't worry though, because we will get multiplayer in a very unique way. While player 2 won't be controlling Luigi, Peach, Toad, or even a Goomba or Rabbid, second player can take control of Cappy. You'll be able to grab coins and attack enemies, so player 1 can focus on making that perfect jump to the next platform or complete a difficult challenge. Plus, I'm sure it'll create a lot of fun and hilarious moments between friends who are trying to torture each other in the game. Number 8. New Worlds. Mario games usually feature very similar areas. You can always count on a forested area, an underwater world, a haunted set of levels, and a few others. We do usually see worlds that are unique to a specific game. But from what we've seen from Mario Odyssey, the new worlds and kingdoms that Nintendo has thought of are truly bizarre, even for a Mario game. We have New Donk City, which is meant to resemble New York City. We have a kingdom that is completely based off of food, and many others that allow Odyssey to completely stand out from the rest. The best part, these worlds aren't like average worlds or levels from Mario games, which brings us to our next detail. Number 7. Larger worlds. Super Mario Odyssey will feature larger worlds and areas than previous games. It isn't quite open world like Breath of the Wild, but it does have large and expansive yet contained worlds. Nintendo described them as compact sandboxes that are each filled with many things to do. This is where we were getting to earlier. These levels stand out not just because of their size or idea they're based off of, such as the Food Kingdom and the real world for New Donk City. They actually feel alive. It would be a bit boring to have huge areas but nothing to do in them. This changes in Mario Odyssey. Each kingdom has shops and specific enemies, items, and characters that can only be found within that kingdom. On top of this, most of the NPCs that we've seen so far feel like they actually have a purpose. This encourages exploration more than previous games. Your only goal isn't to just collect stars to open a door, like in Super Mario 64. Each kingdom has many different objectives to fill these large worlds. Number 6. Stack power-ups. By this point, you probably already know you can control enemies with Cappy, which in itself will allow for brand new gameplay mechanics never seen in a Mario game. It also wouldn't be much of a Mario game if it didn't include a handful of power-ups, like the Ice Flower, Fire Flower, Tanuki Suit, or the new Cat Suit from 3D World. Just like the previous games, each power-up adds its own unique gameplay mechanic. Reported by IGN during a recent Nintendo Direct, it was hinted at in gameplay that you will be able to stack these power-ups, which means you'll be able to take control of an enemy and have its special ability. Then you can combine that with a traditional power-up. If this is the case, and one of Nintendo Voice Chat's hosts wasn't just making stuff up, then this will provide dozens of different combinations to mix and match power-ups and abilities. Number 5. Motion Control. Keeping with tradition, Nintendo is bringing back motion control for Odyssey. But don't freak out, motion controls are optional, and you can play the game just like any other with a Pro Controller and Joy-Cons. This is similar to ARMS, which feels like a completely different game when playing with motion controls. Both are great, but some people prefer the traditional style while others do prefer motion controls, or at least the idea of experimenting with them. Personally, I'll be playing the game with a Pro Controller, but I am happy to see Nintendo is giving the option and not restricting it to only one style. Good job, Nintendo. Having only one or the other would leave a lot of people dissatisfied. Number 4. Retro 2D. This is one of the greatest new features for me, and it shows Nintendo isn't afraid of a little experimentation. This concept was first shown off in A Link Between Worlds, which, quick bonus fact here, began as Nintendo wanting to remake A Link to the Past with the additional processing power that the 3DS allowed. But after a developer came up with the idea of turning into a painting or a picture to move along the wall, they worked it into the A Link to the Past remake and decided to turn it into a sequel of sorts as opposed to just another remake, which the 3DS had plenty of with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D in development. Anyways, back to Mario. The same concept still applies. At certain locations of the levels, you will come across special warp pipes that will allow Mario to play 8-bit and 16-bit inspired levels. These retro bit sections can also be as short as just a few seconds or the size of a typical 8-bit Mario level. Number 3. An actual story. Miyamoto has always said that for Mario, Zelda, and all of his other games, that gameplay comes first. They come up with the ideas of what they think will be fun, build and design levels around them. Then after each level or dungeon is complete, they design the rest of the world to connect them. Then, finally, they add in what story elements they can to complete the game. This is why most Nintendo games almost always get great review scores, because no one cares about a story if the game is still incredibly fun to play. But if the story is great, then it just makes the gameplay even more amazing. To Nintendo, the story is always just an afterthought. This time, the same with Breath of the Wild and even Skyward Sword, it seems like Nintendo has actually put more of a focus in the story instead of having it off in the background. Sure, it's still Bowser kidnapping someone and Mario trying to stop him, but the concept of Bowser traveling to different areas to prepare arrangements, food, music, and everything else for his wedding, the concept of Mario going to these same areas to try and stop him, while saving the areas, and the different side stories from the different characters found within the areas. From what Nintendo has shown off, the worlds don't just feel like levels, they are believable. It isn't just World 1-1, World 1-2, or World 4-3. It is Mushroom Kingdom, and it is New Donk City. The story actually connects everything together. Number 2. Different outfits. This seems like another idea coming from the Zelda series and appearing in Odyssey. In Breath of the Wild, you will come across certain areas that require you to wear certain outfits. In some cases, you'll just die, whether it's from the heat, being too cold, or being struck by lightning. In other areas, you may not even be allowed in, and the different characters react to you depending on what you're wearing and in some cases, what you aren't. In Mario Odyssey, Nintendo has put an emphasis on this. Almost any outfit from past games are making a return, such as Dr. Mario, his original outfit, even some newer ones such as his construction worker Mario Maker outfit. You'll also come across plenty of outfits that are unique to their own levels. And just like in Breath of the Wild, some are needed to enter certain areas or progress in the game. Number 1. No game overs or extra lives. That's right, a staple in the Mario series is being taken away. No more game over screens or stacking up extra lives. Nintendo announced this on Twitter by saying, no matter how many times he falls, there is no game over. Don't worry though, you can still die in many different ways, but each death will only take away 10 coins. Even if you have less than 10 coins, it'll just be taken to 0 and you'll be able to continue from the checkpoint. In an interview, Nintendo said we also wanted people to be able to, you get into a kingdom, and you can't just kind of continually keep going through that kingdom without being pulled out. So that was why we kind of wanted to get rid of the lives idea. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Just like Breath of the Wild had changed the Zelda franchise, it seems Nintendo is doing the same with Mario Odyssey. Are these welcome changes, or do you think some of them are actually ruining the game? Comment below and let us know, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more videos like this, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, please consider subscribing, checking out my second channel focusing on movies and TV shows, and my Patreon where you can join in as a guest in upcoming videos, watch new videos first, you can have me join in and collaborate on videos for your own channel, have custom artwork or custom avatars made of yourself or for your channel, and much more.